sending, those $1,400 checks, putting cash out there.
That's right.
I mean, didn't that end up contributing to inflation? Do you have any regrets about the bills you passed and how you structured them?
No, absolutely not, because that was necessary for people to survive. Our purpose
was that it was inflationary.
But the point is,
Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi defending the $1,400 stimulus checks yesterday on Face the Nation, saying the stimulus packages, the stimulus checks, they may have been inflationary, but they were not the main cause, and they were 100% needed to help out the American people. She says inflation is actually a global phenomenon that's taking place. It's not just due to the stimulus provisions and checks that were sent out to the American people. And she's also going to be discussing the upcoming midterm elections, the strategy, and she is saying that she is confident that Democrats are going to be taking this, that the American people are going to see that Democrats are going to be helping them out. And she's saying there's no plan by the Republicans to do anything to help us out, even with the economy. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, you guys. I'm going to share with you this video footage that came out yesterday from Face the Nation with this interview with Nancy Pelosi. And like I said, she's talking about stimulus checks, and our economy. Let's go ahead and dive right in. This is your breaking news, stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, before I share with you the video footage, do me a quick favor. Smash the like button if you appreciate the updates. Hit the subscribe button to stay up to date. Any specific questions, Instagram at SteveRam3. Check out my second channel, more content coming on Steve Ram Finance. And also, if you want access to the comprehensive list of every stimulus check in the nation, I've created one at www.reliefroadmap.com. And also, you guys, thank you for all the support on my kids' new channel that they launched. They were so excited. They absolutely loved it. They're working on some more content to release this week as well. But with that being said, let's take a look at this video footage and let me know your thoughts, because midterm elections are just around the corner, less than 3 weeks away, and stimulus, everything is up in the air, and we're going to see what's going to be unfolding. Let's go ahead and take a look.
And we are joined now by Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. Good morning, and it's great to have you here at the table, Speaker.
My pleasure. Thank you. Good morning.
You have said a lot is going to be determined by turnout, but you've heard our CBS estimates have the Republicans taking the House with 224 seats. How do you shift the momentum?
Well, let's just say, first and foremost, good morning. It's Sunday morning, 15 days or so before the election. People are already voting. We're very pleased with our early vote for our Owning the Ground initiative. It's interesting to me because for a year and a half, the media has been saying, oh, it's gone. President's party always loses in the off year. And now we're down to the stretch. And we're down to very close races. And we feel very confident. I've been in over 20 states since Congress adjourned in the last month or so. And I see very clearly that the ownership of the ground is with us. It's about getting out the vote. Everything else is a conversation compared to that. But in order to do that, you have to have inspiration. You can't run on empty. And the fact is that when I hear people talk about inflation, as I heard him there, we have to change that subject. Inflation is a global phenomenon.
Yes.
The EU, the European Union, the UK, the British have higher inflation rate than we do here. It's not, the fight is not about inflation, it's about the cost of living. And if you look at what we have done to bring down the cost of prescription drugs, to bring down the cost of energy and the rest in our legislation, you will see that that has been opposed every step of the way by the Republicans, and they have no plan for lowering the cost of living or helping with inflation.
Absolutely. Inflation is a global problem, and it's hitting a lot of countries very hard. But there is also that question of fiscal spending. Congressman Jim Clyburn, who serves in leadership alongside you, said the following earlier this week.
All of us are concerned about these rising costs, and all of us knew this would be the case when we put in place this recovery program. Anytime you put more money into the economy, prices tend to rise.
Did you also realize at that time that the congressional spending would add to inflation? Did you see that risk then?
Well, first of all, government spending does. We had a a pandemic. And that brought down unemployment from 7% to 3.5% now. It put people back to work, children back in school, inoculations in the arm, and it helped take us through that phase of the pandemic. But let me just say that because of more people working and the rest, the deficit has been cut in half from 2.8 to 1.4 trillion dollars. That is a big change. So yes, we have to take a step forward to solve the pandemic problem, but we did so in a way that would reduce the national deficit, and that cannot be ignored.
But on things like sending, those $1,400 checks, putting cash out there.
That's right.
I mean, didn't that end up contributing to inflation? Do you have any regrets about the bills you passed and how you structured them?
No, absolutely not, because that was necessary for people to survive. Our purpose
was that it was inflationary.
But the point is that when you reduce unemployment, it's inflationary. That is a fact. When I was a new member of Congress, I was told that unemployment was dangerously low in our hearings on inflation and unemployment. Unemployment is dangerously low for what it does to inflation. But the fact is, the point is that this is about helping America's working families meet their needs, and that was essential to them. Less inflationary than a $2 trillion tax cut for the high end that the Republicans gave, and we're still paying a price for $2 trillion, 83% of the benefits going to the top 1%. So we feel proud of what we've done. We feel proud of the president to help America's working families to lower their cost, and in doing so to reduce the deficit.
Well, on the issues that voters tell CBS News are important to them, abortion ranks number 7. Up top, economy, inflation, crime, immigration. Was it a miscalculation to believe that the momentum from striking down Roe versus Wade was going to help Democrats? Why not talk more about these issues around the economy?
Well, I can just say this. The elections are about the future. They're about the economy. Everybody knows that. Nobody said we're doing abortion rather than economy, but it's about both. And I can tell you that issue is very, very provocative and encouraging people to vote across the country, having just been there, not sitting in Washington, but going around the country. But I would say this.
24% of likely voters, according to our polling, are motivated by this issue about Roe.
That's a good number.
But you need them to win, right?
That's right.
They need to show up.
Let me say this. Here's what happened. Let's just talk about what this comes down to. In these races, and why I'm optimistic about it. I mean, it's a fight. These are close races. It's like the Olympics. In a half a second, you could be gold, silver, bronze, or honored to be an Olympian. So these are tough fights. But that's what they are, and it's a big change from what the media thread of, they can't possibly win. No, we can possibly win. But here's the thing. In these districts, the Republicans have said that if they win, they want to subject Medicare, Social Security, held blackmail to lifting the debt ceiling. They have said they would like to review Medicare and Social Security every 5 years. They have said that they would like to make it a discretionary spending, that Congress could decide to do it or not rather than mandatory. So Social Security and Medicare are on the line. A woman's right to choose is on the line. The planet is on the line. Issues that relate to prescription drugs. Yes. For years, we've been trying to get the secretary to negotiate for lower prices. We couldn't get it done until we had the Democratic president and a strong majority, and enough in the Congress to get it done.
I want to ask you about that, the future and the new Congress potentially. Yeah. You told Andrea Mitchell earlier this week, we need generational change, but in some cases there's no substitute for experience.
Right.
Will you remain in leadership in the new Congress?
I'm not talking about that. I'm here to talk about how we win the election.
But to deliver on all these things.
I was only paying Andrea a compliment for all the experience that she has.
I see.
But the fact is, we need to.
So you may or you may not.
I'm not here to talk about me. I'm here to talk about the future, America's working families, for the children. It's always about the children. And the point is this, that these issues, if you're a senior, you have a lot at risk.
Yes.
If you're a childbearing age woman, you have a lot at risk if your family does. If you care about the planet, you have a lot at risk. They said it's a hoax. When we had the debate on our funding for addressing the climate crisis, not one Republican vote. When we talked about, so what we need to go forward with is more that we had in our agenda, and child care, child tax credit, issues like that.
Madam Speaker, I appreciate you coming here today. We did also invite the Republican House leader to join us. He declined the invitation.
So there you have it, you guys. That was Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, and she's saying she's confident they're going to take it. She said that they've said that there's no chance Democrats are going to win, that the sitting president always loses in a situation like this. And she's saying, no, you're going to see, and they're going to win. And we will see, you guys. And now she was also questioned about whether or not she's going to be staying in her position as Speaker of the House. We've heard she's going to become the ambassador to Italy. And she said, it's not about me. We're not talking about that right now. Let me know your thoughts, you guys. But that is the latest. And like I said, midterms are just right around the corner. We're going to be seeing if there's more stimulus provisions, more executive actions. We heard the president just announce that the deficit has been cut down significantly. He said the biggest deficit cut that we've ever seen. Now, just to clarify, there is still deficit. It's been reduced by more than has ever happened before, and that's due to the increase of massive amounts of spending that we had during the pandemic. They've cut that down, and that is why right now we're seeing states and counties and cities flush with cash, even the federal government. That's why we're able to have that, and maybe the federal government will send out more stimulus provisions like we're seeing states, counties, and cities doing right now. Now, we will see. I will keep you up to date either way. If they do or do not, I'll let you know here on the channel so you know what's going on. But you guys, that is the latest. And as always, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date. Any specific questions, Instagram at SteveRam3. Check out my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, and www.reliefroadmap.com for the comprehensive list of every stimulus check in the nation. And again, thank you for all the support on my kids' new channel. They absolutely loved it. They are always asking me to come on, hop on the lives, and so they just decided to launch their own channel, and they're working on more content this week, so keep an eye out on Liam and Naya's new channel. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.